Urban battles are raging in parts of the Gaza Strip as Israeli forces push deeper into key cities across the territory's south. Areas in the north also being bombarded, even as the United Nations repeats calls for a ceasefire. The UN General Assembly is expected to vote on a draft resolution tomorrow, but hostilities between Israel and Hamas show no sign of easing. The Israeli military is saying more than 100 Israeli soldiers have died since the ground offensive started 2 months ago. It adds it has killed dozens of militants in Gaza over the past day. Airstrikes still raining down on the southern city of Khan Yunis, where Israeli forces opened a new line of attack last week. Gaza's health ministry putting the Palestinian death toll at close to 18,000. Fierce battle is also underway in other parts of Gaza, such as the Jabalia refugee camp in the north, where large areas have been reduced to rubble. Smoke bombs were thrown in the camp, sparking panic among residents. Many seen rushing for shelter. The camp, Gaza's largest, has come under repeated fire since the start of the war. Our Palestinian activists are calling for a global strike as part of efforts to put pressure on Israel to agree on a ceasefire. A tense quiet filling the streets of the West Bank, where schools, stores and other institutions have shut their doors in solidarity. From Sarah Coates joins us live from Tel Aviv. Sarah, that key UN vote tomorrow, but fighting appears to be getting even more intense in the Gaza Strip.
Hello there, Wei Su. Well, look, I think it's important to bring you up to speed with what's been happening on the ground here in Israel as well. Just around an hour or so ago, a massive barrage of rockets were sent from the Gaza Strip into Israeli territory, into the centre of the country, including right here in Tel Aviv. And look, this is day 66 of this war, and it just goes to show how many rockets Hamas seems to have still in the Gaza Strip, despite this military campaign on the ground. Now, one of these rockets landed very, very close to where I'm standing. I could see the huge splash in the sea just beside me right here in Tel Aviv. But look, you did mention that heavy fighting is continuing inside the Strip. We do know that troops are advancing in that southern city of Khan Yunis. This is where the Israeli officials believe that senior Hamas officials are hiding, including the leader of Hamas in the Gaza Strip. That is 61-year-old Yahya Sinwar, and he is the most wanted man in Israel, with officials vowing to hunt him down and to kill him. Now, also on the ground today, Wei Su, there is a UN envoy. This is of the Security Council. We know around 12 people are visiting that Gaza border, but on the Egyptian side, on that border there with Rafah, where these people are being told to go. Now, this comes after comments from the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. He said that the humanitarian crisis in the Strip is growing worse by the day, warning that many people could starve. And look, this visit is being absolutely slammed by Israel. Its UN representative Gilad Erdan, he says that it is a disgrace and a new low in the organisation's bias toward Israeli victims and the October 7 massacre and the hostages, Wei Su, that remain inside Gaza.
I mean, also, the last few days, the IDF releasing pictures of what it says are Palestinian fighters, but others have questioned the identity of those prisoners taken. Now, that has prompted concern from many quarters. How has Tel Aviv reacted so far?
Well, look, we've had a statement now from the National Security Advisor, Zaki Hanegbi. He says that Israel will not be releasing any more of these pictures, saying that it doesn't serve any purpose, insisting these men must be searched. This is why they're stripped, to make sure they don't have any weapons or any explosives hidden on them. Now, Israel isn't giving out any numbers of these people that it's arrested, but it continues to say that it is taking people in these northern parts. We're talking here about Shejaiya refugee camp and also Jabalia. Now, we've also heard a response from the Prime Minister's spokesperson, Eylon Levy, over the last couple of days. When some of these videos were released, he says it is a sign of collapsing morale in the Strip. But look, I'll also bring you up to speed with what's happening with the 137 hostages that remain inside the Gaza Strip. They're being held by Hamas. with that group saying that none of these people will come home alive unless there is a prisoner swap, with Israel releasing all Palestinian prisoners being held in Israeli jails. And look, that is more than 7,000 people. And the families here of these people who do remain in the Strip are urging Israel to do whatever it can, no matter what cost, to get these 137 people back home. Wei Su.
Thanks. Sarah Coates reporting live there for us from Tel Aviv.